Aloha Shalom. I'm here to do the full moon activation today. And for those of you who are new to these activation videos, they actually have nothing to do with the moon. The moon is only used as a measurement of time so that we can meet 4 times within each monthly cycle. And so right now it's the full moon, so what is that really reflecting, right? It's not really about the moon. The light of the moon is reflecting the light of the sun, is reflecting the light of the one. So it is revealing something that is going on not only inside of us, but within and back of all things. So good to see you all tuning in. Aloha, shalom, salam. Go ahead and let me know where you're tuning in from. I see a couple of you have already started doing that. I'm tuning in as usual from the magical Sedona, Arizona, USA. So go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We have Denver, we have Manchester, New England, Austin, Texas. Sweet. This is the grid that we are creating. Portland, Oregon. I'm just shuffling the deck, warming up the cards while you all tune in. Virginia, sweet. Go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Orlando, Florida. Other Manchester, UK. Montana. Salt Spring Island, BC, Canada. Sweet, good to see you all tuning in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Kingman, Arizona, Minnesota. So the full moon activation is all about the fullness of the picture. What have we learned this month? What are we coming to realize right now is the big theme of the month, but in a sense that, oh, we did that. We accomplished that. Right, so the full moon is all about the full picture. Paris, Mississippi, Maine, sweet, many blessings, wherever you're tuning in from. All right, so we got another UK, Chicago, sweet, Hamilton, Charlotte, Saratoga Springs, sweet, North Carolina, awesome. Okay, so just about ready to begin. Go ahead and let go of whatever thoughts you've been carrying throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. You don't even need to go into what is it that I need to put down. Put it all down. Put it all down. Set it all aside. All of it. We want to be open, empty, receptive for the incoming information, for the incoming message. So just go ahead and set it all aside, and at least for this moment, tune in here now. And I will meet you in that place that is the infinite heart space where you and I are one. Go ahead and connect with the deck however you know how, okay? Principle of mentality, it's all about the mind, it's all about imagination. So you can see yourself having a golden thread from your inner eye or your heart connecting to the deck, whatever you want to do, doesn't matter. What matters is your belief, your vision, your conviction in that vision. You can see yourself sitting here with me. You can see yourself connecting with everybody who's tuning in right now all around the world. You can see yourself holding hands all across the world. Whatever you want to do, just connect. Drop in. Soul in body. Soul embodied. And meet me here now. All right, so this is the first card I'm going to choose. What is the number one thing that when we see it, we're going to go, yeah, that's exactly right. That is where I'm at right now. That is where I've come to here at this place of culmination of all of our efforts this month. This card is, yup, okay, that's what we're going to feel when we lift this very first one. I'm going to set it down right here. Then What's the best move we can make right now to begin to integrate that lesson that we learned, to begin to live with this new wisdom that we've cultivated? All right, so first card, first question. Where are we at? What's the trophy we're taking from this month? Woohoo! And this card actually came up last month for Libra season. I remember because of the scales, and it was so on point. So this is the Six of Pentacles. And it's all about taking the inner balance and manifesting it outwardly. Being right in our minds, finding balance within so that we can begin to see it reflected without. Something that's coming in very clearly about this card in particular is this. How does it relate to us personally in this time? A lot of us are experiencing this idea that, wow, I've been in need recently, and in my time of need, I recognize that I am given to, that I have support. I've really been in need, and I've seen who will step up for me, who will support me, who will be there for me emotionally, who will be there for me physically. And if you feel that you've been this is coming, there's a lot of information coming in really clear, so I'm just going to keep going with it. If you feel that you have been in need recently and you haven't gotten what you needed, the lesson here is, how can I, right here, right now, begin to be more of a giving person? Do those things for others that I need, that I haven't had in my times of need, so that I can begin to attune myself to that frequency, so that when I do need next, it will come to me. Where have I not been giving enough? Where have I not been supportive enough? And how can I be more supportive, more giving? Where have I maybe thought that I've been the most supportive friend, the most giving person, and I actually haven't been? Maybe I thought I was giving support, but it was half-assed. And not on purpose, not intentionally, but it was all part of the plan. It was all so that now, in hindsight, it could be clear, so I can see how I need to refine the way that I support others. And uniquely so to each individual, right? It's because it's particularly about not projecting what we feel support is, right? Like really tuning in to the individual or the situation that we're supporting and see what is uniquely needed there. Not from our ego's lens of, oh, well, this is what I would want, so this is what I'm going to give to this person or situation. But no, really tuning in to that individual or that situation and saying, what is it that he or she or they need from me? Right? And it actually is less work. It actually is less work to behave this way, because what happens is we project our idea of support onto others, and then we give, and then in the end, no one's actually supported because we weren't giving the correct support. And so we're actually left depleted, right? We're left drained and exhausted, and that person is left without actually like the support that they need. So instead, if we just pause and take a breath and tune in to that person or that situation and ask what is it they really need, we end up wasting a lot less energy. We end up using our energy more proficiently and more wisely in a way that's really helpful and supportive of the one. So that came in really clearly through this one right now. Okay, so there are those of us on the one side who feel, oh, I'm receiving the support that I need because I have been giving and I have been helpful. And on another side of it, there's this, oh, I don't really feel supported and I do feel depleted, and I see how that is a reflection of my own lack of support for others. And so if we don't see right now a life of balance a life of abundance, if we don't see before us a life that is organized and flowing, at least what we are seeing now is the way to get there. What we are receiving right now is the clarity and vision of how to form a strategy to begin to organize our lives in a way that does flow better, in a way that does bring more prosperity, abundance, and support for all. Again, some of us are already seeing that happening, and we're able to, at this point, recognize why it's manifesting that way so that we can continue with that strategy. And then some of us are not quite there yet, but we're still riding that same energetic flow. So behind all of what's happening on the outside is still the same energetic unfolding for all of us, wherever we're at, which is showing us the key to becoming more balanced, the key to becoming more prosperous, healthy, abundant, supportive, and supported. The codes are incoming. And for some of us, we're a little ahead of the game. And so for some of us, we're just receiving those codes now. So either you're taking in those codes and using them as a method of sustaining this path you've been on of creating more abundance. And then for some of us, it's taking in these codes and beginning right now to make the changes we need to make to call in that balance in our lives. Okay, so main points, we're seeing who is there for us, who is supportive, who's not there for us, who's not supportive, and why. Why these people are supportive, why these people are not supportive, and then the common denominator of our own part in it, and why I've attracted support from this end, and why I haven't been attracting support from this end. It all comes down to the common denominator of me, you. What am I doing that's either attracting or not attracting support? It's all being offered to us right now, the clarity to see the answer to that. And what's the first step to take? This is the second card here. What is the first step to take now that we know these are the incoming codes? There's our trump card, Major Arcanum. To be honest, I saw this card. I thought it was we have 55 people watching right now. It's 5. I thought that this was going to be the last card. I saw it, so I'm feeling like this feels right. By the way, 56 people watching now. 5, 6, 5, 6. Notice the colors are the same in both of these cards, right? A lot of the same colors. Notice, even look a little closer. Notice how it's the 1 in the middle and the 2 at the feet. See the 2 acolytes here? And see the 2 people here. So these are very much connected, and every major arcanum card can be found in any of the minor arcanum cards, and here it happens to be very clear what the connection is. So let's go for it. This is what we're currently learning. This is the incoming code, and this is how we can best integrate it right now. And the Hierophant is all about the inner teacher, the one that is within, the inner guru, the heart's compass. Okay, it's the 5 right before the 6, the lovers, aka the 2 paths. Okay, so we're preparing for that next part of the story because the tarot is a sequential story. So the 6, the lovers, aka the 2 paths, the one that's coming next is the challenge, the trials, the choice point. So this one, the card right before it, the Hierophant, is all about gathering knowledge, connecting to our heart's truth, preparing ourselves as best as possible with truth, with knowledge, with wisdom, so that we're ready for any challenge ahead, so that we're ready to make the best choice we possibly can make when we come to that crossroads. So heart's compass. Okay. So if this is the step we need to take right now for this, what does that look like? It's all about sinking into our hearts and moving from that space. Because if we really do this in a big way, if we really do this, we will know exactly where we've been lacking in support and in being supportive. If we sink into our hearts, we will be able to not only see, but we will be able to feel what relationships are needing more attention, what relationships are needing more support, what kind of support each relationship is uniquely in need of. We will see, if we drop into our heart, where we haven't been supportive enough and how we can begin to make amends for that. Ho'oponopono. How we can apologize, how we can make it right. So this 6 is reflecting the major arcanum 6, which is the lovers or the 2 paths. And ultimately it's all about balance. So if we want to make the best choices to bring about that balance, both inwardly and outwardly, we need to tune in to the heart's compass. It will guide the way to what is needing moderation. The heart always knows. So it's funny because it's like, okay, we should have known that this is the one that would come out, right? It's like the key is in bringing balance into our lives in a way where we are giving and receiving appropriately, in a way where we're giving and receiving support appropriately, giving when we have enough to give and receiving when we're in need, right? And so it's like, well, how do we know how best to do that? What will guide the way? Of course, it's going to be the Hierophant, the heart. The 2 keys at the bottom of the card here represent knowledge and wisdom because they're the 2 keys that are needed to unlock the door to potential. You can't have one without the other. You need both knowledge and wisdom. And so, of course, this heart's compass is going to guide our way. What is needing our support right now? Who is needing our support right now? How are they needing our support right now? Where have I not been supportive enough? How can I make amends? How can I apologize for that? The heart knows the way. The heart will help to guide you make the best decisions possible to bring about more balance in your life. Dropping into the heart will help you to feel where you're needing more support too. Wow, I see that I'm really needing support in this area and it's time for me to reach out. It's time for me to make that decision, make that move to communicate my needs, for example. Okay, so bringing more balance into our lives, giving not just more, but giving in a way that is more fulfilling, in a way that's more supportive. And sometimes it's actually doing less that is more helpful. So it's not about how much we're giving, it's about how we are giving, what we are giving. Okay, so it's like somebody might be like, I've been giving so much money and things. Maybe you're giving too much money and things and not enough of your time and your presence and your energy, right? Classic example. So it's about the quality, too, of what you're giving. So, for example, if I recall giving away a bunch of crystals that I had collected since I was a little girl, and I felt the best giving away the ones that were most important to me. And I'm sure you guys can relate to this. I don't want to just look through my stuff and go, oh yeah, I don't really care about this thing anyway. Let me give this away as a gift. They'll love it. No, I want to give away the thing that means a lot to me because I know that will be felt. And see, that thing might have less monetary value, but it has more sentimental value, perhaps. And that's really felt. So it's about not lying to yourself because you can't in the end. Because you can't. Because your soul is watching through your own eyes. That's the real judge, right? So it's about really being honest with yourself and asking, how can I give better? How can I give with more presence, with more awareness from my heart? And not just because it's the right thing to do or because this person just needs it. No, like really bring it to your heart and saying, it's because I want to be of service. It's because I want to really make a difference, because I want to help. Because I know that when I'm helping the one of which I am a part. Okay. I'm going to pull one more card, and this one is going to be representative of what we are ready to leave behind. Something that right now we can let go of, that is going to create the space that we need to move forward in a way that's more efficient. That's going to free up energies that we could be using to bring about this balance. Something that has just been weighing us down. This is the thing that Spirit is saying, oh, by the way, that thing, you can put it down. This is it. You ready? I just said less than a minute ago, that thing I said about you can't lie to yourself and your soul is watching through your eyes, that's the real judge. Judgment. I was already feeling this coming on. I was feeling this card. And here we go, second major arcanum card. So what do y'all think this means as far as this being the thing we can let go of? Ultimately, this is a card within the story of the tarot because it's a fundamentally operative law. We can't let go of judging and perceiving our reality because it's what we do, right? There's this observer's awareness that's always there, whether we're conscious of it or not, right? So what does this mean in regards to the question we asked? We're ready to let it go. We're ready to let go. There's a few things coming up. We're ready to let go of being the incorrect judge. We're ready to let go of being too harsh with ourselves. We're ready to let go of not being strong enough with ourselves. Okay, we need to be, this card is all about having that attunement to your inner mother and father and allowing those two to guide you through life. They are the judges, right? This inner mother and father that are always watching through our eyes. You could see your eyes as like that mother and father, right? So we need to let go of being too harsh with ourselves or not being stern enough with ourselves. We need to let go of whatever is in the way of us being our own disciplinarian system, because that is what's healthy. That's where we all need to get to. I tell this to my kids who are young children and they get it. I'm like, you have a mother and father inside of you who are guiding the way. They get it. So whatever is in the way of you tuning into these two inside of you, time to let that go. Whatever is in the way of you being stern with yourself, right? Like addiction, for example. Anything that's a distraction that you're allowing to distract you from making the moves you need to make, it's time to let that go. You need to be stern with yourself to a certain extent, right? We have the two pillars of mercy and severity. These are the mother and the father, and we are meant to walk that middle path between the two. So we have that severity, that's this force within that shows us how to be stern with ourselves so that we can make the moves we need to make to progress psychologically and spiritually. And then we have this pillar of mercy within us, this force of mercy, which says, okay, but we also have to be compassionate with ourselves. We also have to be kind to ourselves in order to move on. Because otherwise we'll be stuck in self-pity, right? Or just punishment upon self. So whatever is in the way of us finding the balance between these two, that needs to go. Whether it's addiction, a relationship that is allowing you to overlook unhealthy things about yourself, or a relationship that's forcing you to be too hard on yourself, for example. There are plenty of those out there, right? High pressure relationships. That's the thing you need to let go of. Whatever is supporting too much pressure in your life, and whatever is supporting not enough pressure in your life, those are the things that need to be let go of. Those are the things that need to be transformed. At least transformed, right? Because energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. So, for example, if you have a relationship that is causing you to be too hard on yourself, let's say you have and say you're a woman and you have a boyfriend, and the pressure of the relationship is too much for you, and for some reason in your head you feel that you need to eat less because you need to look better, because you need to be thin, right? I'm trying to pick like a really common example. And then I don't want to say let go of that relationship. I want to say that's the thing behind it that needs to be let go of, that pressure. So you might want to have a conversation to transform this relationship and this pressure. In fact, you might have that conversation and your man says, That's crazy. That's all in your head. That's a projection. I love you just the way you are. And then that transforms the pressure and you're able to move ahead more freely. I know it's easier said than done, right? And I know that's just one really common example. But my point here is whatever is going on in your life, relationships, situations, habits that are causing you to be too hard on yourself or not stern enough, those are the things that need to be examined, looked at, and transmuted to work in a way that it serves you finding that middle path, that balance. Okay, it's all making sense, right? Like, if we want to get to this point of seeing balance in our lives, then we need to make sure we're not being too harsh with ourselves about certain things, and we're not being too lackadaisical about things. We need to take responsibility to make our way to that middle pillar, to that balanced path. So if you're being too harsh with yourself, or if you have situations in your life that you're feeding your energy to that are ultimately supporting you remaining in this space of harshness toward yourself, you're never going to find that balance. And also, on that same note, if you are feeding your energy to situations in your life that are supporting you not making the changes you need to make and not doing the things that you need to do, you're also never going to find that balance. So for example, when you tune into your heart and you see, oh, now I get it. This relationship is needing more attention from me, or this person is needing my support in a different way than I've been giving it. Oh, I see. That's all going to show you this process, right, of self-examination and going through your relationships, and all this is going to help you see where you've been too harsh on yourself or on others, or where you haven't been stern enough with yourself or with others. So it's all tied in together. If we want to bring true, sustainable balance, we need to move from the heart space. It will guide the way to those situations and relationships that need attention, that need our awareness. And if we let go of being too harsh or being too gentle, we will have the energy that we need to approach these situations in the right way, to be able to set boundaries clearly, to be able to love openly. It takes that balance. Okay. So I wish you guys all of the success on this endeavor that we're all on together right now, of just first tuning into the heart, first of all, because that's where it all ends and begins. And from there, seeing what relationships, what situations need our support, and maybe not in the ways we've been giving it. Refining the ways in which we give. We will never move forward if we're too harsh on ourselves, or if we're not putting that fire under our ass enough. So we need to let go of that imbalance within, so that we can come to balance without. So thank you guys for tuning in to this activation portal and for opening it up with me. If you know of anybody who could benefit from this message, please send it to them. If you're a part of any groups that would like to hear this message, please share it on your page, with your family, with your friends. These are hard times, and messages like this can be helpful, especially when there are so many people connected to this portal that are offering support energetically from afar. So go ahead and share it with whomever you think could benefit. We do have our last class in our Zoom series, The Occult Symbolism Within the Tarot. Card 22, the Materialist, aka Annihilation. This is a card you will find in the Brotherhood of Light deck and not in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. I'm really excited about this last class. I'm not sure yet, for those students who are tuned in right now, if it will take place this Thursday or next, because there's so much going on at this time. But those of you who have not taken any of these classes, just know that they are live on Zoom, but they are all recorded. They are 60 to 90 minutes long, each class, and we will have, by the end of the week, every card done. So right now we have cards 0 through 21 recorded and privately stored in a Google Drive archive. Each class is $10 for 60 to 90 minutes of information. Stuff that you won't find in any one book. Really unique perspective, especially because everybody who attends gets to share their unique vision at the end of the class. So if this is something you're interested in, you want to go deeper with the tarot and the occult symbolism of the tarot, which, by the way, is not just about tarot, like a deck of cards. It's about tarot, which means royal path, which is life. So taking these classes and learning about these symbols is helpful for anyone on any path, because there's only one path behind it all. It's the royal path. So studying occult symbolism can be extremely helpful if you are wanting to be on a path of self-empowerment, align your mind with your body so that your soul can come in, so that you can live a balanced and aware, awakened life. So if that's you, if those are your goals, go ahead and reach out about my classes. And thank you so much to everybody who has supported in purchasing my book that I published in March. It's going to be a year soon. This winter will be a year since I published my book. So thank you for your support, everybody. And if you haven't yet let me know what you think about my book and you've been reading it, please let me know. Private message me, drop a comment, let me know how you're enjoying the book or how it's affecting you in your life. And for those of you who've never heard of my book, it's called The Royal Path, Activating the Archetypal Alliance Within. So if you type in on Amazon, The Royal Path Activating, the book will come up. And I'm also happy to ship you a copy personally from my hands to yours, wherever you are. So reach out anytime. And also thank you for your participation, everybody, in the Royal Path private group on Facebook. I love our group. It's so awesome. If you're not a part of it yet, feel free to join. It's called the Royal Path. We also have a private group on Facebook called Shabbat Crew, Shabbat, Shabbat, and that is where at the end of the week, every week, I share my favorite articles and resources for the current Torah story of the week, and just share a lot about Jewish mysticism and Kabbalah on there. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and join. Thank you all so much. I'm just undoing knots in my hair back here. Let's see, it's Sunday, so have an amazing week, everybody. Enjoy the light of the fullness of the moon, and I will see you soon. Shalom.